Good morning. Good morning. I think I think what Sam does is he just admits everybody.
Wow, it's a large audience.
Yeah, but we have some AI in here that we got to excuse from the
Yeah,
from the good morning,
good evening,
everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for jumping in. We're gonna get started shortly. Good morning. If you know somebody who should be here and they're not, please nudge them. We're gonna get started in just a moment. All right, all right. Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 6th, 8:33 a.m. You may be 2:33 or 3:33 p.m. in your world, so good afternoon as well. Please put in the chat where you are tuning in from. If you're in Atlanta or you're in some other parts of the world, it's good to have you. Thanks for jumping in. If you know someone who should be here and they are not, please go ahead and nudge them that we're about to get started. Welcome. My name is Ricardo Beris. I'm the chairman for the Global Opportunities Committee of the Atlanta Black Chambers, based here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. It's a good day today. There's always been a good day when you're above ground. So big shout out to all of us. We made it. And we have a few announcements. So the session has been recorded. We will be posting this on YouTube shortly thereafter. So if you missed this and you want to catch up, feel free to follow us on YouTube. When you go to YouTube, just search for the Atlanta Black Chambers or the Global Opportunities Committee, either one of them. Would love to receive some love from you. The chamber is looking to get to 1,000 subscribers over there on YouTube. So do us a favor, just head over to YouTube and send some love if this has been truly meaningful and helpful to you. That is one. Secondly, of course, you can find us anywhere on social media as well. We're on LinkedIn at Global Opportunities Committee. Please follow us there to stay in touch and stay abreast of the things that we're actually doing. And basically anywhere you do social, Instagram, all that jazz, you can follow the Atlanta Black Chambers or the Global Opportunities Committee. And for context, to those of you who are new to the show, we do this every Wednesday morning, rain or shine, virtually. We do this every Wednesday morning at 8:30 a.m., where we talk about global opportunities. We talk to people from all over the world. The Global Opportunities Committee focuses on three main things: trade, partnership, and investment. How do we do more of those things? How do we do more trade with each other globally? Whether you trade a physical good or a professional service, how do we do more of that with each other? How do we facilitate more partnerships with each other? And how do we invest in and with each other? Those are the three main things that we focus on. So we are here as a platform. We provide information, we provide access to resources, we provide connections and facilitate introductions. We do all of those things for the benefit of you as you seek to grow your business as you seek to cross borders with your products and your services. And so if you're not yet a part of our inner circle, you're welcome to join the Atlanta Black Chambers. We do have an international membership, which provides an inner circle access that you can then be privy to the various opportunities that we share among each other and the partnerships that we engage in, the joint ventures, etc., so that we can continue to do our business with each other. For now, this is a free and open conversation we do every Wednesday. If you want to hang out here, you're welcome to do that. We do also are building some micro communities on WhatsApp. These are small communities of people who are interested in international business, people who are interested in crossing borders to do business. And so we've got about close to 45 plus countries that we have footprints in, and we have big shout out to our folks who are eyes and ears and boots on the ground, who's helping us to understand what it is to do business in those spaces. And for you, you just need to choose where you want to do business. You may have affinity, you may have connections, you may have some likeness or liking to a specific jurisdiction, and we encourage you to lean into that. We are building the platform so that you can have your dance. And today we're dancing Samba, and because Samba is the dance of Brazil. So if you like to dance Samba, then we want to make sure we have the platform for you to dance Samba all the way to the bank. And so that is essentially what we do every day here. So welcome and thanks again for jumping in. The Global Opportunities Committee is we do have a massive sort of event with the Go Global Conference, Go Global Ecosystem that we do annually. And so we are actually going to be doing a launch event for this conference coming up on May the 14th. So mark your calendar. We'll be sharing some of that in the chat so you can register to join us on May 14th virtually, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., where we'll be dissecting and breaking down the entire Go Global conference that's coming up in September 30th to the 3rd of October right here in Atlanta. Last year we did this, and for those of you who are here, last year you can put a big shout out and maybe a big emoji inside the chat if you were actually represented last year, and if you're looking forward to coming back to the conference, we would certainly love to have you guys. And so that's coming up for sure. So please be on the lookout for that so you can actually join us there. Today is significant and also momentous for us because we do have an opportunity to connect with our brothers and our sisters and our people in Brazil. If you've never been to Brazil, if you've never engaged in or with Brazilian culture, this is a huge opportunity for you to get to know the people who are from Brazil who are doing massive things. And today we recognize and sign two MOUs with two organizations that we're going to get to know here on this call today. So that's super exciting because that every time we sign an MOU, folks, it's a symbolic gesture, but it's a powerful gesture that we want to interconnect these communities globally. So to make it easy for you to access and to enter into these markets if you're interested. We recently signed an MOU with the Atlanta Coalition, Congolese Coalition that is based here in Atlanta because we're heading to DRC as Central Africa, or Central Africa delegation is coming up in August, and we're going to Angola, Mauritius, DRC, and possibly Rwanda, I think, as well. And so these are really meaningful to us because it allows us to have our fellows on the ground to help us to do the things that we need to do. And it's the same thing with Brazil, Brazil in South America, Portuguese nation. And we think, well, there's a connection with Angola and Brazil, right? I'm just making that connection there. They're both Portuguese nation. So we're going to learn more and as much as we can. And we're going to spotlight one of our members, and you'll have an opportunity to ask questions to the guest before we're done here. So let's get on with it. I wanna bring up the guests, and I want to start with our regional lead. We do have regional leads, one of the things that we do within the Global Opportunities Committee is that we build what I call an infrastructure, a network infrastructure of people, amazing people that is, who are serve as eyes and ears and boots on the ground for us in every single country that you hear us talking about. There is someone, one of our grand, amazing POCs that helps us to understand what's happening and help us to navigate things, answer your questions, help to facilitate your entry into those spaces. And so Samuel Felicio is our regional lead for Brazil, and I'll give him an opportunity to introduce himself. But we have a few other guests from the organization Mover, which we have an MOU with as of today, and FIB, or we say Future in Black. When I first heard Future in Black, I thought it was FBI, and I said, "Wait, it's actually FIB, not FBI." So we're going to learn a little bit about Future in Black as well, and so we're going to hear from Fernando and Douglas and his colleagues to say hi. So Samuel, why don't we start with you? Good morning, and tell us a little bit about who you are, and thanks for serving in our community. Please set the tone for us and bring up on stage the other folks who we'd love to hear from.
Okay, thank you very much, Ricardo. Good morning, everyone. It's pleasure, is proud, to be part of this incredible organization, because I believe that after almost, or over than 500 years, we are coming together again. Just to give you a very quick perspective, during 350 years approximately, almost 12 million of Africans were taken from Africa to west side of the world in order to work in plantations, in minery, and everything else. And 50% out of those 12 million people came to Brazil. That's what makes Brazil the largest Black country outside of Africa. So now it's a great historical moment where we are getting together again in order to get us the payment that unfortunately the history is still owing us. Okay, but my name is Samuel Felicio. I'm a seasoned sales and marketing professional working for more than 35 years in American companies, in different roles. Currently, I'm a country manager for one of the Berkshire Hathaway, owned by Warren Buffett, companies in Brazil. I started that company from the scratch 6 years ago here. But other than that, I used to work for American companies, Italian companies, Chinese companies as well. I have a global experience because I lived already in Atlanta for about 4 years. I was responsible for Latin American business. So I have a very good, broad, knowledge about, business dynamics around the globe. Okay. And I'm very honored to be assigned recently as a regional lead for, GOC and Atlanta Black Chamber as well here in Brazil. Okay. So the idea here is to leverage all the business acumen and business knowledge that we have in Brazil. And again, bring more people. We needed to work as a coalition. We needed to think about going, further. We needed to go together. So we needed to bring more people. We have, a very interesting momentum in Brazil going on right now, because again, we have a lot of Black organizations working in affirmative actions in a lot of different programs. So again, the idea is to discover those opportunities, to cooperate each other, and to bring more business and wealth to our communities. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Okay.
Thank you, Samuel, and the guests that we're bringing on more than I do, and we're all going to get to know them. So I want to welcome on stage Fernando Torres. Let me know if I'm getting that right, but Fernando is the head of Mover organization. Fernando, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about who you are, and at the same time, go ahead and tell us a little bit about Mover.
No, thank you, Ricardo. And it's a huge pleasure to be here with you. I make Samuel's words mine. In it's we became very emotional to have this moment with people from around the world together again. So nice to meet you all. I am Fernando Soares. I work for Mover, which is a Brazilian coalition composed by more than 50 big companies or multinationals, which I'm going to explain a little bit more further. But talking a little bit about myself, I've been working in some multinational companies here from Brazil, and also some startups focused always in marketing strategy and technology, working especially with digital journeys and digital transformation. And here at Mover, I'm responsible for some of our projects, especially aimed to how do we generate impact to at least 3 million Black Brazilians citizens. So it's one of the most important organizations in Brazil, and for sure the one who is looking at uh, the career of Brazilian people, especially in big corporations, always focused on Black people. So what Mover is? Mover is a coalition composed by, as I told, more than 50 companies, which has a specific objective, which is just to low the underrepresented that Black people had historically in corporations and in the business scenario in Brazil. So we create an ambition, which is to reduce racial inequality through large-scale economic inclusion, and it works with those companies to turn this agenda in tangible results. So it's not an institutional commitment that we have. We are focused in execution and with targets and measurement in the center, I would say. So how do we connect with the Atlanta Black Chamber and all that we are planning to build? We have a low participation of Black entrepreneurs in corporate supply chains here in Brazil, which is part of the underrepresented that we have in corporations. So we identified that we have limited access to markets, also to capital and to structured development, and diversity agendas do not reach the value chain. So what we are trying to build here is to introduce the diversity agenda, especially talking about Black professionals, to the value chain of big companies, looking to the entrepreneurial, how do we help entrepreneurs to deal with those big companies. So it's a huge pleasure to be here with you, and I'll be here to answer any question that you have.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Fernando. We appreciate that. Douglas, please come on and unmute and introduce yourself. Douglas is a co-founder of Future in Black, and would love to hear and learn a little bit about you and Future in Black. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, everyone. And Ricardo, we need to change to FIB because in Brazil, Future in Black is so hard to speak, and people also talking Black in Future, Black, I don't know. And okay, let's simplify our name in FIB, solve this problem. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for invited. It's a pleasure to work with them. Thank you, Samuel, to present this opportunity and connect with Atlanta Black Chamber. Future in Black stay in an important moment for us. Our focus is connect with different executives around the world to invite and guys them to come into Brazil. I'm Douglas. I'm CEO of Future in Black Group. We are an ecosystem for Black leaderships and business. We are a business and ecosystem that bring together Black executives in decision-making position across Latin America, and our our most market is in Brazil, but we have executives in Colombia and different countries in Latin America too. We operate through three interconnected companies. So we have Future and Black Global Conference. It's our national conference where we reunion 1,000 Black executives to investors, entrepreneurs, and public leaders to discuss about market trends, leadership, and the future of economy. And this is the year where we started to look in a global market. So Future and Black 2026 have a focus to discuss about the global economy, not only Latin America economy. Our second company is Phoebe Network. It's our think tank. It's our year-round agenda of private forums, executive gatherings, and the strategic conversations designed to strengthen high-level relationship and generate business opportunity. So if they can talk with one of the 600 corporations that we have in our network, Phoebe Network, it's a company, and my partner Michael, it's a manager of Phoebe Network. And unfortunately, they have a logistical problem with the air company and could be a present, but I think in our next opportunity, they will have opportunity to share with them in a profound most parts of the Phoebe network. And we have Phoebe Institute. It's our leadership development and research arm, focused to prepare executive for senior decision-making, rules, stroke studies, and leadership programs and corporate training. So the three companies, it's a compound Future and Black group. Over the past 3 years, we have built a network that included more than 6,000 Black executives in Brazil. We have a very important data. 6% of the executives in Brazil are Black, and our mission is find them and engaging them to do a business and strategic connections and propose discussions in high levels. And so more than 6,000 executives, and we have executives from over 600 corporations in Brazil. So I have a joke in Brazil, Fernando work to increase the number of Black executives. When you do, executive Future and Black catch you to, hey, come into my ecosystem. So we are a very complementary ecosystem, and Mover, it's a very important organization to they start our Future and Black because they stay with us since the zero moment. And with more than 84% of participants of Future and Black are whole stay increase like coordination position. So we have a very senior ecosystem, and it's a very good opportunity to stay with them to connect Brazilian Black executives with international Black executives. We stay here to do a business and to do strategic connections. We have three main sectors in our ecosystem: financial marketing. We have we have 35 international multinational banks in our ecosystem. For example, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Banco do Brasil, Santander, all them stay in our ecosystem with Black executives. And industry is our second strategy, quantity executives in the ecosystem. And the 30, it's government. So we have a very great strength in Brazilian government. We have one executive in 27 states in Brazil. We have executives in Colombia government and different countries in Latin America too. So Future and Black have the three main markets, and if they think how connect this, we stay here.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And I know we have some guests also that's based here in Atlanta, and they're also connected to Brazil. I want to recognize Zaya Moraes. Zaya is actually based here in Atlanta, and Zaya is from Brazil, and so she's an athlete, and so she's been doing a lot of great things here. So just want to recognize her. Thanks for coming. She's super excited about building the Brazilian community in Atlanta. And so Zaya, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know this is your family and this is your people, and just wanted to recognize you and just to have you say hello quickly. So you're on we can't hear you, but we'll probably try to come back because it seems like you're on you're having a little microphone issue there. While Zaya is trying to fix that, I know Samuel, you mentioned Natalia is also here. I think Natalia is also here from the organization, and
Over.
from Mover. And Natalia, if you would just come on and say hello and talk to us a little bit about what Mover actually means to you, as one of the active members in Mover. And Natalia, please go ahead and unmute and say good morning.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We're super excited about all the work that we can do in the upcoming years. My name is Natalia Paiva. I'm one of the Mover representatives here. I lead this organization for 3 years, over 3 years now. And as Fernando mentioned, one of our goals is to change the exposure and the visibility of Black professionals in Brazil to enhance their representation throughout the higher ranks of leadership, either corporate leadership or other sectors such as social sector or public sector. So we have a lot of programs to accelerate people's careers, but also another part of our work is to bring more economic opportunities for Black Brazilians everywhere. So one of our levers is to boost Black entrepreneurship in Brazil. So this is where we see a lot of opportunities to work with the Atlanta Black Chamber. And yeah, super excited about that. Mover is very close to my heart. Before coming to Mover, I worked with internet regulation at Meta. So it's a very different job, but I was driven by the passion of this connection of purpose and impact, and this is what Mover is all about. So super excited, and please count on us. You will have our contacts here, and really looking forward.
Fantastic, fantastic. I see Zaya is back. Zaya, I wanted to give you a quick chance to. These guys were not on our posters, but I did want to recognize them because this is so important and this is so historic for us, and I want all of us to understand how we are connected. Zaya, good morning from Atlanta. You're here in Atlanta. Just please quickly say hello. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you actually do.
First and foremost, bom dia. Good morning, everyone. I'm Fabiana Zay Moraes. I'm a Brazilian Olympic athlete. I'm a Navy Sergeant, founder and CEO of Brazil Nation Academy Corporation, which is a 501c3, born here in Atlanta. And Brazil Nation is a brand that I created as a legacy for Olympic athletes. And of course, coming to the United States, we have NFL, NBA. So once we came here, I opened Brazil Nation Academy Corporation. We have 2 soccer fields, which I have something behind me, indoor and outdoor space. Ricardo, he came and visit. My idea of Brazil Nation at the beginning was to bridge the gap between athletes and the community. Once I come here to America, I understand that the community, so in Atlanta especially, the community, but the Black community is so active into the fitness industry. So now we have sports programs for professional athletes and kids and youth, but also we're launching 5K events, watch party, and I would like to receive everyone in our space. The intention of Brazil Nation Academy here in Atlanta is to serve as a home base for Brasilia, but also for the Latin and international community.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And please stay on. I'm going to be asking all of you this question, so just feel free to unmute and answer. Because when people think about Brazil, I think they often think about, the culture and the music, samba and the carnival and tourism. But what do you think? What do you actually think the world is still missing about the Black businesses ecosystem, the Black business ecosystem emerging out of Brazil today?
Maybe I can take this one, Ricardo.
Yeah.
Of course, I think we have a lot of stereotypes about Brazil because again, there is an expression, going on right now saying that Brazil core, because everybody loves Brazil. We are the happiness country. People think about the beaches, about the samba, the soccer, everything else. But again, economically speaking, we are a very, very important country, and we are becoming, a more important, more strategic country than ever. And I can say that we have six, main pillars, moving our economy at this moment. First of one, infrastructure. Brazil is still, very, let's say, capturing a lot of investments in infrastructure, no matter if it's in airports, ports, roads, whatever. And even when we think about real estate, we have a lot of people still, longing for, a house in Brazil, living in so very poor communities, asking for houses. Samuel from Nigeria, my, namesake, he knows that we discussed it, a couple of, weeks ago with Dr. Kondo about, the situation for, poor communities here. The second one, we are leading the revolution for renewable energy. 80% of all electricity matrix in Brazil is renewable, comes from water, sun, and wind. So we are not, using and, burning a lot of oil in order to get, energy in our houses. We are using renewable sources. The third one is about what we call the agro business. We are leading. We are the number one exporter of beef, orange, sugarcane, coffee, and a lot of other commodities that we have in agro. So this represents today a quarter. Agribusiness in total represents a quarter of the total Brazilian economy. So again, we have technology in place because, again, forget about those type of, hillbillies stereotypes that you thought in the past, trying to seed or planting something in the field. No, those times are gone. Today, we are talking about technology. We are talking about, precision. We are about sensing. We are talking about drones, managing those small and the big farms that we have in Brazil. The fourth, big pillar that we have in Brazil is about, we are accelerating what we call the private credit in Brazil. As, Douglas mentioned, Fernando mentioned as well, we have, although we are 110 million people, Black African descendants in Brazil today, we are very subrepresented represented in terms of economic power. We are not owning a lot of companies, but we have a lot of entrepreneurship in the Black community. We have some numbers, some figures that are saying that we have approximately 10 millions, more than 10 millions, small business owned by Black people. Most of those businesses, they are not official, they are not regulated, they are taking place, in very, very, very low end or very poor communities, but they are there trying to, leverage their own business. What is the problem? They don't have a working capital. The working capital is very, very cost in Brazil. And again, they cannot handle or leverage their business because of lack of, working capital. So we have that pillar. The fifth, one is strategic mining. Today, Brazil has the second largest source for rare earth minerals in Brazil. 95% of niobium sources in the world is in Brazil. So we have lithium, we have several other, rare earth, minerals and magnets in Brazil. So we are driving for the future. The big, countries around the world are coming to Brazil, trying to explore their rare earth minerals. But Brazil at this time is saying, no, we will not be a colony any longer. We will be processing those rare earth minerals here and selling, value-added products to abroad. So that's a big opportunity. We are in the early stage. And for sure, financial technology. I believe that, for years, because we have a historical in the past with a very high inflation rate. Can you imagine, guys? But until 1994, we Brazilians, we used to handle with 85% inflation rate per month. So again, that boosts a lot of development in finance systems. And today we have basically one of the most advanced systems to make payment in Brazil. We call PIX, PIX. So again, we are more digital than other countries around the world, and we are processing transactions very easily using a mobile phone without using the official big banks. So again, those six pillars are moving Brazil and are heading Brazil to the future, and we see opportunities to export some of those knowledge that we have here, and also we are open to bring more investors and partnership to Brazilian companies in order to take advantage of it.
Fantastic. Natalie, I know you had your hand up. I don't know if it was already said, but go ahead.
No. Yes, Samuel just made such a complete picture that I have really a little to add, but I would just highlight one thing, which is the fact that Brazil is also a talent powerhouse. We have Brazilian executives in many different multinational companies working very strategic roles. And just to connect with Atlanta, the new Coca-Cola CEO is a Brazilian person, Henrique Brau, who, by the way, was one of the people who were directly involved in the founding of Mover. So yes, it's really important to highlight that as well.
No, that's fantastic. And you just said this, Samuel, to the 110 million this is the largest Black population outside of Africa, is what I'm understanding. And so, what happens economically though? What do you think? And maybe Douglas and Fernando, seeing that you are powering these organizations, what happens economically when Black businesses, Black leaders, right, across multiple continents begin to collaborate, begin to do this intentionally instead of operating in isolation? Like, what do you think happens when that happens?
I will start it. I have the discussion with Apex last weekend. Apex is an international organ, Brazilian organ to have a focus to bring connections with Brazilian business to global markets. We have two main challenges to talking about business with black leaders in Brazil and Black entrepreneurs in Brazil and Black entrepreneurs around the world. The first challenge is language. 1% of Brazilians talk in English, and it's a really big challenge for our marketing. And we have more intention, we have more we have much opportunities for Brazilian markets and African markets who have very similar challenges and solutions. But when you connected the two leaders, we have a language challenge, for example. And the second is Brazil. It's a very, very, very closed culture. So when you looking at Brazilian market, Brazil understand about Brazil. If you talk, hey Brazil, do you know about Colombia? Colombia, it's our, it's around Brazil, and people say, oh, I don't know anything. And Argentina too, and Paraguay too. So I use this example to talk. We have a challenge to do Brazilian understand our around countries. Imagine Africa. So when people think Africa, think South Africa, because we had in the past World Cup. So people know we have a World Cup in South Africa, and it's a big country and it's a big market. But if you talk, hey, do you know what happened in Ghana? Botswana, different country, Brazil say, I really don't know. And the two challenge, it's important to understand this. And the organizations to have a mission to connected Brazilian with international marketing. Most part of the time have specific market is positioned because they need money to work. So imagine you open a commerce, I don't know, Afro Chamber Commerce, for example, in Brazil, you need to stay in São Paulo. Because São Paulo is the B2B marketing and most important business hub in Brazil, but we have a most opportunity in a north of Brazil, a nordeste of Brazil, a south of Brazil, a central-west of middle west of Brazil, and all them stay is where stay the opportunity, the desert consumer marketing, but you need to stay in São Paulo because it's where stay the money. And here in São Paulo, we have a challenge to compete with different chambers and anything. So we have bad distributions organizations to share international opportunities in Brazil. So this creates a very closed ecosystem where Black entrepreneurs think in Brazil, specific states where they stay. So to you understand, we have two states to have many Black entrepreneurs. Bahia, it's one state. It's a famous for tourism in a different solutions. And Rio de Janeiro, for example. If you are entrepreneurs in Rio, you think Rio. If you are entrepreneurs in Bahia, you think in Bahia. It's hard you see entrepreneurs have multi connections with, oh, I work with Bahia, but I have connections with Rio and I have connections with São Paulo. So we have a challenge to connect in country, imagine it international. So when I look at the opportunity, it's an opportunity, and the opportunity increase when you look at diversity market is around Brazil. We have 5 Brazil in Brazil, and it's a important context to understand this, because if you change the region of Brazil, you change completely your marketing.
I would add.
Go ahead, Fernando.
I would add that culturally we have in Brazil. We are often to understand that some communities would always cooperate. So here in Brazil, historically, we have like the Japanese community, it's very cooperative with each other. The Jewish, the Italian, and the Arab with the Lebanese and Syrian community. So we Brazilian, we are often to understand that some communities are going to cooperate with their own community, but not Black people. And as Samuel mentioned, here in Brazil, we have at least the half of the companies owned by Black people. So what we are seeing here is an amazing opportunity to not only connect our local business with each other, but bringing this connection internationally to bring to Brazil some companies and products that we could offer here inside our market, and to export, as someone, Natalia mentioned, products, companies, and people and executives. So I really think that we have the opportunity to start bringing or start building this culture with Black people here in Brazil, with a huge market that we already have, to make it generate wealth to the Black community.
Wow, that's amazing. And thanks for sharing that, because I realize now we can understand the opportunities that lies ahead, right? Opportunities for closing that language gap or the language barrier, opportunities for creating more exposure to other cultures. I did want to just break for a quick minute, guys, and bring up one of our members who is or regional lead. He's actually regional lead for the UK, and he's got a business. And today we've chosen to spotlight him. So he's going to take a few minutes quickly, tell you a little bit about himself, and tell you about the business that he's in. Leonard, welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ricardo, and good morning and good afternoon to you all. As Ricardo said, my name is Leonard Fom. I'm the managing partner of a company called TIC Services, and also the new founder of another business that I've just launched called TIC Services Capital. my core operations is the intersection between capital, strategy, and execution. So basically helping SMEs and growth stage businesses access funding, structure deals, and expand across borders. Um, so I support businesses globally within sort of the capital advisory, so raising debt, structuring finance, and private credit, and also work on cross-border transactions, particularly across UK, US, Africa, and also emerging markets such as Brazil. So really excited that I'm now on this call right now. In terms of we also do SPV structuring and deal packaging to make opportunities investment ready, so it can go to market a lot effective and really quickly. And also work on M&A and strategic partnerships, so connecting the right people to unlock growth. What makes our approach kind of unique is that we not only sort of deliver on the capital raise, but we actually structure, manage, and help execute end to end on each deal. So over the last sort of 24 months, we've been working in across the globe. Last year, we actually coordinated with the help of Ricardo and the team, bringing 26 businesses into the US market for the Global Opportunities Conference, which basically created a cross-border visibility and partnerships across the UK and Atlanta, which was really, really great. We've also worked on structured finance and trade-linked transactions to help businesses navigate complex capital environments as well. In terms of the next couple of months, we're really keen to sort of build on those broader networks across the ecosystem, really focusing on South Africa, Southern Africa, Central Africa, and also Latin America and the US corridors. So that's our real focus. Um, I actually have something that I wanted to offer everyone today. So I've got a 12-step framework that we use with our clients to help increase margins within their business. So it's a freebie that I want to share with everyone. It's something that actually helps businesses increase margins within 90 days. And I'll share a link later on in the link below that actually helps businesses get investment ready for success. But yeah, that's me. Hopefully that gives you some context in what I do, and would love to sort of support as many of you as possible. Um,
All right.
but
Awesome. Thank you, Leonard. So if you're interested, Leonard is going to put something in the chat for you. If you're interested as you begin to move across borders and between territories, you may want to have some margins to be able to do that. You may want to understand conceptually how you make sure that you do this in the black, future in black, right? You want to operate in the black, and that's very, very important. So thank you for sharing, Leonard. I want to go back to the
Ricardo,
conversation. I want to go back to the
I can
conversation with you, Douglas and Samuel and Fernando, because we're formalizing an MOU. So we're formalizing two MOUs today, with both of you, and I want to understand, what does this partnership actually mean to you? What does it represent for you? And what do you hope it will unlock moving forward? Go ahead, Douglas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can compliment a little bit for talking a little bit for Leonard. For you, my friend, strategic marketing in Brazil, it's a match funding money. In Brazil, we have this is a very important information. In Brazil, we have different big banks and organizations to have money to put to match funding money. So to 1 million you put, our organization put to 3 or 5 or 6 million reais.
Wow.
And Brazil, it's necessary you implement the money and the structure in Brazil, but the match fund it's a real structure and the I don't know proportion Yeah, proportion. It's you put one and organization puts 17.65% for in the most part of the opportunity. The challenge for Brazil it's this part, the match funding complement, because capital in Brazil it's the most expensive and it's very hard because if you don't have a strategic connection in Brazil, you don't have access to big quantities money, for example, but we have capacity to operate and opportunity to match funding. So if you have a capacity to get different investments in UK or Europe to put in Brazil, you have a proportion to 6 for 1 because £1 is 6 reais.
Makes sense.
And so it's a low cost money for you. And for Brazil, you have a match fund. And I will put an example, for example, you have a BNDES. It's a big bank of Brazil. It's a government bank. And if you have 10% of capital, BNDES puts 19% of capital to build a funding for credit, for example. Mover they working with very intelligent solutions to promote credit for B2B suppliers because company contract you and pay more than 3 or 5 months. And Mover can create this solution, for example, and it's a low cost capital from BNDES, and it's opportunity to do a deal with international money, for example.
Well, thanks for that, Douglas. I appreciate that. And we'll definitely connect after, for sure. Thanks for sharing.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I guess we can go back to the but thanks for sharing that. That's very interesting. You go back to the question I was asking around what does this actually represent for you, this MOU, and maybe we can take you, Fernando, and go back to Douglas. What does this MOU represents for you, and what do you think it's going to unlock?
Well, I would start saying that it's personally and emotionally, it's very deep in terms of heart, because it's again an opportunity to reconnect our community from the community that left Africa from everywhere where we are to be together again. But in specific points, I would say that it would be amazing for us to benchmarking with major ecosystems which are already working with diversity inside the companies. And I really would like to learn from other ecosystems. How did you manage and had the opportunity to scale Black-owned businesses and connect with large corporations. That's something that we are trying to understand how to accelerate in Brazil. Straightening supplier development models, I think it's also an opportunity that we have to make together. Connecting local companies with global companies, which could help us with some local issues. I would say if we have a specific demand from a Brazilian company, which a partner from another country could help connecting these local representatives, I really think that would be an amazing opportunity for us to grow local and global businesses. And corporate engagement, like a playbook in which we could understanding and create a process in which we could bring diversity into big companies in a more strategical way. I would resume in this specific points, but I really think that during the way we are going to find many ways to collaborate with each other.
Yeah. No, thank you. Douglas, did you have anything you want to share on that for Future in Black?
Yeah. Talking about the MOU and partnership, it's important talking with, we believe, Future in Black partners, we believe we are living drove the decades of the international trade restructure windows. and building partnership around the world make us more competitive and creative opportunity for relevant deals led by Black leaders. And therefore, we are very happy with this partnership and decided to generate tangible opportunities for members of both network. Future Black stay here, Mover stay here, and our partners stay here too to do business, and we create a new decade for where Black leaders are who make business and who make relevant deals and who promote more integration with Black diaspora global. So for us, it's a very excited moment.
Fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll because we typically on a weekly basis check our pulse, the pulse for our audience, and see what your thoughts are. And I would love to know how many of you have been doing business in Brazil. And if you've ever been to Brazil, we're actually going to Brazil as a delegation in August 2027, which is a little over a year from now. We'll be doing South America. So we'll be traveling to Brazil and I believe Costa Rica and Panama on one trip. We'll be going to the Caribbean in March. So before Brazil, we'll do the Caribbean, Grenada, Jamaica, in Suriname and Guyana. So this is what we do. We typically work together with entrepreneurs interested in these markets, come as a delegation and bring them in. And I know that we're also working to bring some Brazilians into Atlanta in September, at the end of September, for the Go Global conference. So if you have not yet registered and inquire about the Go Global conference, go to the goglobalconference.com to be a part of it. I know this afternoon as well, Dr. Nicholas Harvey, who is one of our leaders, is hosting a investment readiness session at 12 o'clock. One of the challenges that we've seen as we talk to people from around the world is the lack of investment readiness. If you are looking for money, you have to be ready and you have to know exactly what to ask, how to prepare yourself, because that's very, very important. Because a lot of times, 9 out of 10 times, people who are investing in you, not necessarily what it is that you're actually doing. So Dr. Harvey is going to take you through that. It's a free and open conversation with him at 12 o'clock this afternoon. So you should check the chat if you'd love to jump in and learn a thing or two about that. We rely a lot on Dr. Harvey's assessment of people who are looking for investment, because this is essential for us as we connect capital to opportunities. We want to make sure, are you the good fit? Are you a good fit for this? So go ahead and jump in there. As you take the poll, we'd love to ask you for a couple more minutes, maybe 5 or so minutes, because we want to get the conversation on our wraps here as we come to a close. And so the other question I had for you guys was, as we sort of think about this MOU, and you'd ask for collaboration on helping to understand the ecosystem. We will be doing a lot of work with our partnership lead, who is Natalie Jerome, who will really be helping to ensure that we can connect and get these things done as we activate these MOUs as of today. So we want to be a big shout out to our partnership lead, Natalie, who I think she's on the call as well, and she had introduced herself. So we formalize this and we understand what this means to us. What we want to do is to understand from you the biggest opportunity that you believe exists right now for global Black businesses. People who are on the call listening to you, what's the biggest opportunity that you think exists right now with your organization and with Brazil? And we can probably start with Fernando. I'd love to hear Samuel as well, and Douglas.
I would say that we don't have a specific industry which we are going to appoint right now, but in this exact moment we are running a research with the companies that are part of Mover to understand which are the main opportunities. So I really think that in the sense, the opportunity that we have here is that we're going to be sharp in terms of bringing into the Atlanta Black Chamber, real opportunities that we may have with the companies that are at part of Mover. So I would say that Mover is represented by companies with a large sort of industries, from agriculture to banks. So it's so vast in this way. Which we had the experience in the past of understanding that if we try to make everything, we're going to do nothing actually. So I would say that we are going to bring some smart or some intelligence in terms of understanding of local opportunities, and then bringing you those opportunities here inside the community.
Fantastic, fantastic. Samuel?
Oh, yes, of course. I think we have multiple opportunities, but I would precisely, nailed a couple of those. Okay, I believe that Afro fashion is something that we can, easily start doing right now. Because again, believe me or not, but in Brazilian culture, more and more people, the black people, because they are becoming more empowered about, what they are. Those, so the Afro fashion business is growing. Also gastronomy, not only gastronomy, the black gastronomy in Brazil is a strong thing going on, but also we have in Europe, for instance, a lot of countries that they love the Brazilian nuts or the Brazilian coconuts. So again, we are exporting, we have companies that are exporting some specific Brazilian, articles today. So I believe that probably can become a very good opportunity. Black built Black built in Atlanta. I remember the time when I lived there. The women in Atlanta, they love the Brazilian nails. They call the Brazilian nails. We have a lot of, beauty shops, spread out across, the Atlanta, because of the, they like the way that the Brazilians are doing. The Brazilian, hair as well. I don't know if you are aware of this, but Brazil is exporting Brazilian hair, to make wigs, and other type of, related products. So I believe that can turn a very good opportunity. I think I would add as well the peripheral tech, because again, as Douglas and also Mover, they explained, we have a lot of startups popping up here in Brazil, and some black entrepreneurs, young people, maybe Z generation, they are working, programming, and developing very very high end stuffs. And so again, maybe we needed to invest money in some of those good ideas in order to leverage that. Education, as Douglas mentioned, what, less than 1% of Brazilian can speak English. So again, maybe it's an opportunity to create some kind of, tech schools or schools in order to leverage our people to speak a second language. So this is very important. And also inclusive fintech, we call fintech. Using the technology, the digital technology, maybe we can leverage more and more, the financial education. You know what? Today, this is official, okay? 90% of the Brazilians are in the very high debt situation. Yesterday, the government had to release a plan to try to save those families. And what is the root cause for that? Is because people has very low financial education. And when it's related to the black people, is even worse. So we have opportunities, maybe Leonard and some other institutions, to educate our people about finance, how to control their money. So those are just a few, opportunities that, what I'm sharing here with you guys. But probably there will be a lot more.
Fantastic, fantastic. Douglas, do you have anything you want to add to that?
The most important thing is coming to Brazil. I think this is the step one. And after this, Brazil, it's a very big country. It's a continental country. We have 5 Brazils in Brazil. and it's a very diversity and dynamic countries, and we have a lot of opportunities in Brazil. Samuel explained extremely well how Brazilian work, and our market, it's a very friendly market. We have credit opportunities for international capital and match funding too. And Brazilian market have so many initiatives to implement and increase business owned by Black entrepreneurs and Black leaders. And Future and Black stay here to support every organization who can come into Brazil, especially who need connecting with big companies, corporates to work in Brazilian marketing. Fernando have the 6 organizations with them. We have a little bit more about this, and it's opportunity and a window opportunity to do a business in a new moment of work. And our specialize is do great connections to decision making deals and decision making opportunities with B2B marketers or corporates and government. So thank you, Ricardo, for your work. It's a very important work, and we stay here when coming to Brazil. Send me and send Samuel too, and send Fernando too a message, and let's drink a beer. The Brazilian beer, it's extremely well too.
We'll make sure we take some of our beer. But thank you so much. We've revealed the poll, guys, and if you look at the poll, you can see this is very, very encouraging because we've got a number of folks have never done business in Brazil before. 86% of you have never done business in Brazil. 6 to 9% of you have never traveled to Brazil. This is a huge opportunity for you to check your passport, please, and make sure that it's ready for a trip to South America. And 94% of you are interested in doing business in Brazil. That is significant for us, and it's appropriate for us to then close this out. And I want to speak specifically to you. So if you can pause what you're doing and hear me out, hear me out. I want to take this moment before we move on today with the power. The hour has come. We're 8 minutes over, and the hour has come. And I want to take a minute to talk to you because we're here all the time. We're here every week, and we're celebrating the opportunity to connect. One of the things we strongly believe in the Global Opportunities Committee of the Atlanta Black Chambers is that relationship should lead somewhere. Connection is not good enough. We have to be able to build a relationship. And if we don't know who you are, we can't help you with these relationships. Conversations should create pathways, and the ecosystem that we're building is intentionally making this relationship building process easy for you. What we're witnessing today, ladies and gentlemen, is more than an exchange of ideas between Atlanta and Brazil. It is the beginning of a stronger bridge between Black business leaders, between entrepreneurs, innovators, and organizations like Mover and Future in Black that recognize the importance of global collaboration. Brazil is home. It's to one of the largest population in the world. We know this. It has extraordinary talent, creativity, resilience, enterprise. At the same time, we know that globally, many of our business in the Black communities around the world have often operated in silos, despite facing similar opportunities and challenges. And so the MOU that we signed today represents a commitment to changing that. It reflects a shared intention to explore bilateral trade, investment with each other, partnerships in each other, education, innovation, and long-term economic collaboration between our ecosystems. So for us, this is aligned with a much larger vision. This is aligned with building a stronger global connection that leads to measurable opportunities and long-term prosperity across the diaspora and beyond for all of you. So today, as you disembark and as you go your ways, we are proud to formally acknowledge this collaboration between the Atlanta Black Chambers Global Opportunities Committee and our partners that are represented here today. And we appreciate your leadership, Douglas, Fernando, Samuel. We appreciate your leadership, your openness to collaboration. and your commitment to building something meaningful together. So thank you again, and we're really, really looking forward to seeing what comes next. And we close today. We want to make sure that the one thing that you take away is very clear. The future of global Black enterprise will not be built in isolation. Together, we go further. It will be built through partnerships, shared knowledge, trusted relationship, and cross-border collaboration. And I thank you all for the opportunity today to share this with you. I thank you for being here. We will see you next week, same time, same place. We're going to be having a conversation with Haiti. Haiti has one of the largest camp in Atlanta for the FIFA World Cup, and you want to actually
Yes.
know how they're thinking about winning this soccer. But thank you guys, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you, Douglas. More to come, ladies and gentlemen, on the opportunities that exist. Stay tuned. Join us. Become a part of Warrior in a Circle. Become a part of the inside so that you can benefit and take what is rightfully yours, which is the opportunity to do business with each other. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again next week. Same time. Same time. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Zaya. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great one.
Good job, guys. Appreciate it. We'll be in touch.
Good job.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye-bye. Congratulations.